the old, in with the new. So I went with a contractor grade sprinkler control unit because, well, I got a $75 instant rebate on it, so money saved. Is it gonna work well? I don't know. I'm still about a week and a half away from the secondary water getting kicked on, so I can't really play with anything, set up zones, all that kind of fun stuff until that happens. But everything's in place. We're ready to go for the switch to be flipped to see if we've got problems or if, yeah. If you want the details on what control unit I put up there, I'll leave a link in the description box below, and it is not gonna be an affiliate link because I really don't care if you buy it or not. You can go do your own research, pick out the one that works best for you, but that's what I went with, so we'll see. Next item on my to-do list for today, we're gonna get some soil samples of the backyard here and send them off to Spectrum Analytics. Why did I go with Spectrum? I've used them in the past, and I find that their reports are easy to read. They're easy to figure out. I like their layouts. I like the form you have to fill out to send in the samples. I just think they're really easy to use, so that's why I went with them. And I honestly had this question: do I do soil samples now, or do I wait until the trash grass is thrown down and get the soil samples then, so I get some of the soil that comes with the trash grass? Get soil samples now before the trash grass goes down, and then again after trash grass gets thrown down and get some soil samples of the soil that's attached to that, plus mine. What do I do? So I reached out to some of the guys in the lawn forum. I asked them, and they said it's best to test the soil that you're gonna be growing in. So get a soil sample now before the trash grass gets here and it gets thrown down, so that I can figure out what this soil needs so that the turf can grow into it, establish itself, and we've got a nice healthy base. So that's what we'll do, and hopefully by now we know the routine. We're gonna do a zigzag pattern throughout the back here, get different samples in each, throw them into a clean plastic bucket, mix all that up, dump it into a 1-gallon bag, label it, and mail it off into Spectrum's lab. So let's get to it. I don't know why I fumbled there. I don't know what I was trying to do. I didn't know if I was gonna go that way, stop the camera, then start recording. There's our samples. I most certainly didn't need a 5-gallon bucket. A small bucket will suffice, but it's the only one I had that was clean. This one was brand new, so that's what I put it in. Let's mix it up a little bit. Get my 1-gallon bag, and instead of struggling to dump this into this, use our trusty friend here. Just shoveling it in like so, boys and girls. So there it is. I most certainly don't need that much, neither do you, and neither does the lab, but it's good to put that much in there so we can mix it up, and then they dump out however much they need for their testing purposes. So we'll mail this off. I'm sure that's gonna be cheap. I had a coworker ask, well, why do soil samples? What's the purpose of that? And it's because we need a base reading of where the soil is at right now. We could go out there and just buy our regular starter fertilizer or a general purpose 10-10-10 fertilizer, throw it down and hope for the best, right? No, not the case. We want to be good stewards of the environment. We want to know exactly what our soil needs, give it that, and no more. We don't want to take guesses or chances of just throwing something down and hoping and praying to the lawn gods that it works. So when we get our report back, it's going to tell us what nutrients are in the ground right now, what it has too much of, what it has too little of, and based off of that reading, we can go out there and find the most economical choice for our fertilizer for our soil and for our turf. So that's why you should get soil samples, so you can pick the right fertilizer for the best price. Now for the next task of the day, and the reason I'm wearing my fancy footwear, I know you're jealous, Walmart specials. It's time to throw down our PreEmergent back here before the trash grass gets here. because we already have some things rearing its ugly head. It's spring, things are blooming. It's time. It's time to throw down that PreEmergent so we can stop the nastiness before it happens. And by that I mean weeds germinating. Who knows what I stirred up when I tilled all this, what came in with the soil when it got dumped. So we'll throw down our PreEmergent and try to knock back as much crap as we possibly can. So let's get to mixing and spraying. All mixed up in our tank. Only doing 3,000 square feet, so we only got 3 gallons and the appropriate amount of PreEmergent in there per the label. Remember, label is law. More on that in a minute, but enough gabbing, time to spray. Done. A few things I want to cover off real quick. When it comes to PreEmergents, herbicides, just professional grade products in general, you've heard me preach this when I was at Do My Own. It's things that I've learned over the years in doing this kind of stuff. Follow the label. The label literally is the law. It is a federal law that you cannot go off label when using these products. To borrow a term I've learned over the years, don't be a moron. Meaning don't pour more on than what is specified on the label. It just, that doesn't help your situation. If you're thinking, oh, an ounce is gonna take care of things, I'm gonna put 2 ounces on to really knock the problem down. That is not the case. There are lots of scientists and researchers that pour their heart and soul and money into producing these products for us and for the professional market. And they've done the research, they've done the legwork to determine scientifically how much you need per the square footage or acres that you're treating. So the short of it, follow the label, read it, understand it, know it like the back of your hand, really take the time to digest what it's saying and understand what you have to do when using that product. Any pre or post-emergent herbicide or fertilizer or anything like that that you're putting down in the yard, on their label, they're gonna specify what PPE or personal protective equipment that you need to wear in order to apply their product. Make sure you're wearing the proper PPE. Again, it's on that label for a reason. As far as what to use to put these products down, I have a few thoughts here. Number one, choose whether or not you're gonna do granular or liquid and buy the equipment to put those particular products down. Granular, obviously spreader, liquid, obviously sprayer. But when you go to buy that equipment, it varies all over the place. You can buy cheap crap that's gonna break down on you, leak, and just not work. It's gonna be cheap crap. And you can go really expensive and spend a small fortune on equipment to put this stuff down. Look, I'm a firm believer in saving where I can. I'm a one-income household with 4 children, so every penny saved is most definitely a penny earned. So I like to go mid-range on everything. I don't want to spend more than 200 bucks if I don't have to, so I'm gonna go out there and find something within that budget. Now the sprayer that I use is a 4-gallon, 24-volt, cheap and rechargeable backpack sprayer, so I don't have to pump. Pumping's for chumps. Get a battery powered if you can afford it. I am not sponsored by Chapin. They're not paying me to say this. They're not giving me product, most certainly not giving me product because I wouldn't take it if they gave it to me. I'm gonna spend my own money to buy the equipment that I believe in. It's a good mid-range for homeowners on price point and the quality is fairly decent. I haven't had any problems out of the Chapin products that I've owned. Now, admittedly, I was gonna drop upwards of about 400 bucks on a battery powered backpack sprayer. But again, I think that's just, it's silly in my opinion. Why spend that much money on a piece of equipment that you're gonna use in your own yard. I mean, if I was a professional and I was doing this day in and day out, I would try and get the top tier piece of equipment that I can get. But for an average homeowner, I feel like you shouldn't spend more than $200 on a piece of equipment that you're gonna use season in and season out. As far as granulars, I went out and found a used Chapin 100-pound spreader that's professional grade. It's used by applicators. It's a great quality piece of equipment. But again, I found it used. I did not pay top dollar retail price for it. I found it off a guy that used it once, decided he wasn't gonna be in the business anymore, picked it up off of him. And so that's some advice I would give you too. Go out there and find this equipment used if you can, just so long as it's not trashed, it's garbage, and it's in good working order, and you know who you're buying it off of and what they've used it for. So do some research, don't spend more than you have to, get the best piece of equipment you can for the amount of money that you have, and there you go. That's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. If it works for you, great. If it fits within your budget, awesome. I mean, I hate to sound rude, but I really don't care. I want you to figure out what's gonna work for you, how much money you can spend, and get the best quality item that you can for your budget. I'm just hoping I can guide you, direct you a little bit on what to spend, what not to spend, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that about does it. Just waiting for the trash grass to get here. Once that gets here, we'll throw it down. Secondary water should be kicked on at that point. I should have worked out all the kinks in my irrigation system. Fingers crossed, hopefully no problems there. And we'll have grass back here for little feet to run on. I hope you like these videos. If you do, hit the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell to get the notifications for whenever I upload a video. Share it out to all your friends, family, neighbors, loved ones. You know the spiel. I do that every video. Just hit the thumbs up, turn the bell on, share it out if you liked it. I appreciate everyone watching. Keep on keeping on, and I will catch you in the next one.